examples, explanation is there, but lot of people don't remember all these things. Okay, better at least to know. So very basic point wise. Okay, peer to peer. And this is a topic is servers and services. I put this heading. There is no separate topic like a server and services, but I have put the heading for my understanding purpose. Mainly we are what are the server and different type of services purpose. I've written like that. Okay, guys. So this is peer to peer. What is peer to peer? You have a computers in the network, right? So you have a computers in the network. Okay. You know, if you say like there is a computers, there are connected in the network, it will represent like this. Means these are the computers connected in the network representation. So from starting, I am using a switch kind of stuff. PCs are connecting just for our understanding only, but this is represent these three devices are connected into a network. It does not mean we are following bus topology. Okay, it does not mean we are following bus topology. We are following network, just network purpose. Okay, so of course it is a bus topology. Guys, this is a APC. This is BPC. For example, this is CPC. APC contains a data. For example, there is a data is there. So from APC, I shared the data. B is accessing the data through the network. B is accessing that data from through network. So A have a data. A's data is accessed from B. Means A contains a data and B is accessing a data. It is like in this particular instance, A act like a server, B act like a client. For example, I have a printer. I have a printer. The printer is connected to C. The printer is connected to CPC. And I want to take a print from C. I can take it from print from C. Okay, so I can apply a print. I can able to get a print from printer. For example, I want to give a print from A. The print will go to this network from A to C and C to printer. Okay, so through network. So C is become now a print server kind of stuff. A is become a client in this situation. Okay, so guys, but there is no separate centralized server, no permanent server kind of stuff. In that particular instant only, these are all act like a server or a client kind of stuff. Again, what is peer-to-peer? It is a kind of work group model. Okay, means individual pieces. They share information, data, resources between two or more systems without using any centralization or a centralized control. A system is act like a server and other act like a client in a particular instance only. Not always. The server is means the system is not a permanent server or a permanent centralized control in that one. So it is depends upon so one to another were sharing. Like one is giving, another is accessing. Basically, it is server client formula. This is peer to peer. Peer to peer means there is a two machines. There are sharing information, data, or resources between these two devices called peer to peer. What is server and client? The server and client, there is a server. The server can be any server. It is a web server, okay, or a DHCP server or DNS server. So whatever it is, you say like it's a server. There is a server and there is a client species. server provide a service, client access a service. Server provide a service, client access the service. Okay, this is APC, BPC, CPC, DPC. But this is a server. Server provide a service. For example, it is a web service. So I'm accessing a website from the server. BPC can also access the website from server. CPC also can do it. DPC also can do it. Okay. Server provide a service. Different type of services are there. That is also we'll see. So server provide a service. Client access service. In this thing, server is always a server. Butler server. And client can access a server directly from server. And I given one statement that is server provide a service. Client access the service. For example, there is a web server. Web server contain web pages. You access the web pages through web service. You access the web pages through web services. The client use the web browser to access web pages from web server. Okay, guys. But remember, the first statement I given, server provide a service, client access a service. So we think server giving, client is taking. And originally, server don't give you anything directly. You have to ask. If you ask to the server, server will give you things, right? So like this, the statement, original statement is client request for a server. Sorry, client request for a service to the server. Or you can easily make it client request to the server, servers respond to the client. The first is client has to request to the server, I want this thing. Using protocols, of course, for understanding what is your request, we have to use a protocols. Okay. Server will get that information. Server will get that information from, server receives this client request and respond to the client. So client need a web page. He will send a request to the web server. I need a web page. Server understand client request and give the response to the client. Okay. I need an IP address. My client machine required an IP address. Client request to a DHCP server. DHCP server will give you an IP address. You have a name, but you have a certain server name is there, but you don't know IP address of it. You send a request to DNS server. DNS server gives IP address of that domain name. Or server name, domain or server name, fully FQDN kind of stuff. Okay. I want to connect VPN. So there is a VPN server. I send a request to VPN server. So VPN server verify everything is good. They will allow you to get connected. So guys, all these examples, server first request to the server, client first request to the server, server respond to the client. Okay. Understand guys, server client, peer to peer.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
So here different servers are there. So we hear a server. What is these servers? Server provide a service. And based on what service it is providing, we call that server as a that particular server. The mainly whatever it is, it can be a any background of that server it is, but we recognize the server as a server based on the what service it is providing. Okay. So what I told, whatever it is kind of stuff, I will tell after this one. Okay. So based on the services, a server, we call it as a web server. For example, it is providing a web services. It is a web server. How a server become a web server? Either by installing protocols, sorry, either by installing some packages or an application in a machine, it become a server. You have a machine, server operating system, server hardware is there, but in that machine, you install a certain built-in roles, built-in roles or features, built-in roles and features, or by installing some packages or an application, a server become a particular server. For example, if I install Apache HTTPD in a Linux machine, then it is a web server. If I install a Windows server with a Microsoft Internet Information Service, then it is become a web server. If I install Tomcat or Glassfish, then it is become a web server and application server. How these servers will understand client request based on the protocols. Okay, web server means HTTP, HTTPS protocols. File server, you want to upload and download a files, file servers, that is FTP servers. DHCP server, dynamic host configuration protocol servers. You have a computer or a mobile phone or a tablet. You want to connect to the network. You want to communicate within the network. You need an IP address. In our network, who is giving an IP address to your device is DHCP server. Automatically, you are getting an IP address from DHCP server. DHCP. Okay. DNS server. Again, who is the DNS server? So I am trying to ping to google.com, or I open a website w3schools.com. I want to upload a file to my some remote server. Okay. So I know the name, but I don't know the IP address. I know the name, but I don't know the IP address. But who will give this IP address? You know the name. w3schools.com name is there. Okay, mail.google.com. You know the name. Mail.google.com name is there. Okay. So docs.google.com. YouTube.com. Studio.youtube.com. Okay. Studio.youtube.com. So you know the name, but you don't know the IP address of that server. You know the name related server, you don't know the IP address of that server. Who will give that IP address? DNS server. So you have to send a request to DNS server. This is a name, I want an IP address. So then DNS server will give you IP address for that one. There are a lot of architecture is there, but simple to understand. Domain controllers. So domain controllers authentication protocols is Kerberos. What is this domain controller? So maintain domain environments. Normally our systems are workgroup PCs. In a big networks, in an enterprise level of networks, lot of large network computers are there. It is very difficult to administrate one by one server. In that cases, we use Active Directory domain controllers um, to manage this number of systems. Simple terminology. WDS server, I want to install an operating system in a 10 computers. So I need a 10 media things, 10 times I have to go to each and every PC, have to install, right? But WDS means we can directly install operating system through network. Mail server, you are sending a mail and receiving a mails, right? So who will managing your mail communication? Your mail server. Who stores the mails into their who will store the mails? Mail server stores your mails. Okay. Database servers, storage servers. Okay. So guys, point is a machine it become a server based on different factors. Very important is when you call something as a server, meaning is it is providing a particular service. So we have to call them as this particular service, like a DHCP server, DNS server, okay, or a file server, web server, VPN server, virtualization server, storage server, database server, depends upon what kind of service it is providing. Okay. Anything, guys? Okay. That is a services based servers. This is operating system based. We are already seeing server operating system, different server operating systems are there. For example, from Microsoft, from Windows Server 90, 2000, 2003, 2008, 2008 R2, 2012, 2012 R2, 2016, 2019, 2022. These many Windows servers are released into market in Linux with different flavors or different versions. Certain Linux servers are there, mainly like Red Hat Enterprise Linux, CentOS, Fedora, Debian, Ubuntu server. In Unix, HP Unix, Solaris, different type of servers. IBM also having a server kind of stuff. Okay. So in earlier slide, I used a virtualization server. So there is a empty machine. If you install a hyper virtualization platform in it, then it is become a virtualization server. So then you can create a virtual machines through your network. Okay. So different hypervisors are there. For example, from Microsoft Hyper-V server. So VMware vSphere or VMware vSphere Xen servers, Proxmox these are all different type of server hypervisors server. Okay. So servers also called, we can call certain things as a server based on what operating system is installed in it. The second one is we call something as a server based on their hardware configurations. Normally we are using i3, i5, i7 processors. Okay. So what we are doing it is i3, i4, i7 processors are there. Okay. But in for a server purposes, we need a 24/7 running is required. For example, my laptop is there. I will start in early morning and I will close in a midnight. Not 24 hours I will run, but I will shut down in a overnight. I don't require, so I will shut down my PC. But servers in generally will run for a 24 hours, so it required a proper hardware. First one. Second one, guys, in this hardware part also there is a three different type of servers are there for different purposes. Tower server, rack mount server, blade server. Tower servers are look like a normal desktop, but it is a little larger size. Tower server. Rack mount server. What is a rack mount server? Rack mount server is compared to tower server. Rack mount servers are occupy less space, okay, but more facilities, little costlier than tower server. It is a simple rack. It is. One second, I will show you that one. Now, tower servers, the way it is look, it is like a tower. See, these are the tower servers. This is rack server. Okay, this is a tower server. This is a rack server. So we'll fit into this rack kind of stuff. Okay, like this. So he's inserting a blade. This is a blade. He's inserting blade into rack, but rack is entirely one rack. It is. So this is entire one rack. Is removed one rack from it. Okay. So these are the data centers. This data center contains servers, applications, storage devices, networking components. So it is a rack. Okay, that is he is removing. This
So,
is the
sir, Tower server also contains the racks also, right? Where we can insert the hard disk and the blade stuff.
yeah, in this rack only, generally in this rack only have a processing, RAM, everything is there, plus SCSI type of storage is also there.
Sir, these servers are used in cryptocurrency.
Again, cryptocurrency means, oh, we'll see that one side a point, guys. The either a tower server or a blade or a rack servers, data centers, whatever it is, the word we use is a compared to regular system. It the speed and strength means data processing strength or speed up. Okay, is a faster in the this what we use in the data centers. Okay. Cryptocurrency also required more power systems. Okay, what server it is, guys? So you can see there is a tower server, rack server, and there is a blade server. Blades are cheaper than a tower server, but blade don't have more facilities inside. Of course, a blade is a blade. The blade, see, multiple blades in a single rack. This is each one is one single one rack server, but it is multiple blades in the rack servers. On one single rack. Each blade is a server. Each blade is a server. It is lesser cost because of it does not contain more and more connectivity like a internal storage connectivity and all very less. But rack and tower servers, the internal storages facilities also there. Okay, so here it is. I told you a difference. Okay, but go to the pictures and also there is a certain videos also there, so you can find the differences in a really. Okay, so last one is a data center. Then we'll take a one small break and we'll come back. Okay, what is a data center, guys? We have seen that blade servers and all that time you see very big things. So these are those that entire setups, the entire organization contains a data centers inside. In the data centers, there is a servers, can be a rack server or blade server, different networking components like a routers, switches, fiber optical cables. Okay, UTP, STP cables, network connectivity, all these things are there. So servers, networking components, storage components like a hard disk, SSDs, SCSI disks, SAS disks, kind of stuff. Okay, different type of storage configurations are there. Again, so what is the data center contains? Data center, servers, storages, networking, infrastructure, softwares are there. Of course, for a data center, we additionally provide a cooling and environmental monitoring is important, cabling is important, backup power supply is also very important for a data center. Okay. So you want to monitor a data center, you must know how to monitor server, networking components, storage devices, and how temperature is there, how power supply is there. So everything you have to monitor. Okay. So guys, again, what is a peer-to-peer? What is server and client? Peer-to-peer means it is a workgroup model type, means there is a two or more devices are connected and they share information or data along with data without any centralized control or centralized system. Okay, server and client. Server and client will provide a server provide a service, client access the service. Web server, web pages. So web server contains a web pages how we can able to access. So client has to request for a web service. So web server understand and it will give you a reply. Okay, how it will web server understand your request based on the protocols. So that's why it is client request to the server, server respond to the client. I told about a different type of servers: web server, file server, DHCP server, DNS server, WDS server, mail server, VPN server, storage server, database servers, different type of servers. Okay, based on the services. And so we can call something as a server based on an operating system of a server also, like a Windows server, Linux server, operating Unix server with the different versions you can do. Okay, server based on the hardware configuration, server based on their hardware configurations, but in a different server. Guys, you are a simple organization, you need a 2-3 servers in your organization. It is a small, but you need a 2 or 3 servers. Which one is better? Tower server. I'm a bigger organization or a middle scale organization or a medium to high scale organization. It is, I need a server or a data center, then I will go for a blade server, a rack server. Okay, so I want I have a very large requirements of a server requirement is very larger. Then I will go to the blade server. Okay, I will go to the blade server. So like that we can able to understand. So data center meaning is contains servers, storage devices, networking components, applications in the data center. And of course data center also adding cooling system, cabling environment is also required. So compulsory you have to monitor our data center. So how it is, how many blades are working, kind of stuff. Okay, how many just storage devices are there. So you have to keep monitoring. Any issue is there, we can get alert and we can resolve the issues. Guys, take a small break. Okay, then I will tell about a work group, domain, and what is an active directory. That's it. That is one part. DHCP DNS, main points I will tell. Okay, like that we will
Sir,
do.
what is Blade server?
Which server?
What is Blade server?
Blade. Blade means blade is also one server. Tower one server, blade one server, rack one server. But blade is look like I will directly put it here. Blade otherwise. It is a rack it is showing, but what is inserting is a blade server. So this is a also one single server unit, but this server does not have direct storage like a SCSI storages. Those many facilities won't be there, but it is also server mainly used for a computer. This is smaller in the size, more number of blades we can put it in a simple space. Like this, so many blades.
So for high level organizations, we prefer and we use blade servers instead of
Blade or a
rack
rack
servers.
servers, because blade is extremely very means comparatively it is small size and it save lot of space. Okay, very less wiring requirement also. If you're using tower, for each one required a separate power connectivity, network connectivity, monitor connectivity, a lot of headaches are there.
Sir,
But blade
cloud server
server
is also
simple
available.
and easy. Yeah, tell me.
Sir, cloud server is also available. Something like that.
Very good. So you are using a cloud. For example, you create a virtual machine in the cloud, or maybe you store data in the cloud. Maybe you are running an application in the cloud, but originally the cloud service provider maintaining these data centers. Okay, is maintaining service provider maintaining the data centers. Data center means blade server, rack server kind of stuff he'll maintain. Okay. So importantly, understand what is the server and client. What is server and client? What is peer-to-peer? What is meaning of server? Means what are the different services from servers? Okay. Take a 10 minutes of break, guys.